Hello, my friend. Welcome to our channel, Healing Sleep Stories. My name is Mushroom, and it is an honor to be your guide tonight. This is a space for you to let go, to rest, a place where the weight of today can simply slip away. So take a slow breath and exhale gently. Feel your shoulders soften, your jaw loosen, your heart slow down. Now, let's step through the door together into a story woven with calm whispers, where every word is a lullaby, and each moment carries you closer to the gentle world of dreams. You lie there, still enough to notice how the air feels just a fraction heavier in the room, as if the whole space has decided to lean in closer to you. The blanket you're under is not just fabric, it's a weighted embrace, an anchor for your restless limbs. If you listen, you can hear the quiet hum of the world beyond your walls, but it's faint, like a memory trying to whisper to you through a dream you're not quite having yet. Your shoulders soften without asking for permission. The mattress seems to sigh with relief, holding you in the exact shape you've always wanted to be. Even your toes, often the last to unclench, find their own small corner of peace. I want you to imagine now that this blanket is more than a blanket. It's centuries of comfort sewn together. You can picture it woven on some ancient loom, the kind that lived in a dimly lit cottage where a fire popped and crackled in the hearth. Back then, people believed in the small magic of things, that a quilt could carry love, or a shawl could keep away bad dreams. Historians still argue whether that belief came from superstition or the way warmth just feels like protection. But either way, it stuck around. You breathe in, and the air tastes faintly of cedar and vanilla. That's your mind, bringing you gifts while you settle in. There's no rush here. The day is already behind you. It's not even looking over its shoulder to see if you're still following. Somewhere deep in your muscles, the tension starts to drain like sand sliding through your fingers. Your neck no longer feels like it's holding up the sky, and your jaw, oh, that stubborn jaw, finally admits defeat and lets go. Now, in this little bubble of stillness, I'd like you to notice the weight pressing down, not in a heavy way, but in the way a cat will curl up on your chest and somehow purr the ache out of you. There's a reason humans have always sought that sensation. In fact, ancient Romans used to lie under layers of heavy woolen cloaks in the colder months, not just for warmth, but because they believed the pressure could settle the humors of the body. They weren't entirely wrong. Modern science has caught up to say weighted blankets calm the nervous system. The Romans just didn't know the word dopamine yet. You shift slightly, and the blanket shifts with you, always loyal. And here's a quirky little thought. Did you know crocodiles actually cover themselves in mud as a kind of natural sunscreen? Totally unrelated to your blanket, but somehow not. Because like you, they too know the magic of being wrapped in something protective, something that shields without suffocating. And right now, that's exactly what your blanket is doing for you. Your breathing deepens, a slow rise and fall that could almost be mistaken for the tide. You're not trying to breathe deeply. It's just happening to you, the way a river keeps flowing without asking permission from the stones. The edges of your mind start to blur, thoughts smudging into each other until they're no longer about what they are, but simply about being. Somewhere in that blur, you realize you can feel your heartbeat, not the rush of it, not the thump-thump of being awake and alert, but the slow, steady tap that says, "We're good here." Your body knows what to do. It always has. You've just been too busy some days to notice. Imagine for a moment that this weighted blanket is the night sky itself, draped over you. Each stitch a star, each fold a quiet constellation. The warmth is the glow of the moonlight, soaking through every inch of you. And the longer you lie here, the more it feels like the sky is holding you in place, not to trap you, but to keep you from drifting too far too soon. A thought crosses your mind like a gentle cloud. What if I could just stay here forever? And the truth is, you almost could. You wouldn't be the first. There's a recorded story, some say it's just folklore, of a 19th century lighthouse keeper who would take his breaks by lying under thick, salt-smelling blankets for hours, listening to the gulls and the waves. He claimed the weight made him dream of walking on the ocean floor. Historians still argue whether he was a visionary or just a man very committed to avoiding his chores. As you picture that, the weight over you becomes the soft ocean pressing in, not cold, not wet, just a gentle reminder that the world can hold you without demanding anything in return. You let your eyes sink deeper behind your eyelids, and it's not so much that you're closing them, it's that the night is closing them for you. A slow shudder, a velvet curtain. Behind it, the stage is already set for your dreams. You can almost hear them murmuring, preparing their lines. Somewhere between now and the next breath, your body starts floating. Strange, considering you're still firmly here in your bed. The weight holds you, and yet you're lighter than you've been all day. You think of a leaf pressed between in the pages of a book, held, preserved, and perfectly still. And if a small smile tugs at the corner of your mouth, it's probably because you've realized you don't have to do anything anymore. No more holding the world up with your shoulders. No more juggling the endless list of "don't forget" and "what if." Right now, all that matters is that you're here, under the warm, protective gravity of this moment. So you stay there, you breathe, and you let the blanket, the sky, the ocean, the centuries of comfort do exactly what they've always done best. Keep you safe until the morning comes. Your breathing is steady now, like a lantern's flame that no longer dances in the wind. That soft, rhythmic rise and fall in your chest is the glow that lights the path inward, where the busyness of thought starts to fade into the shadows. It's as if your mind, once buzzing like a neon sign, has started dimming itself, one bulb at a time. A warm amber glow remains, but it's quiet, gentle, and private. You can feel the light folding in on itself, narrowing into something calm and intentional. It's not gone, not extinguished, just softened. You notice that your thoughts have begun to lose their sharp edges. They're not the rigid, insistent shapes they were earlier in the day. Instead, they drift, lazy, almost weightless, like old letters caught in a slow breeze. You know the kind: folded, yellowed paper, their ink faded, but still carrying the trace of someone's handwriting, someone's voice. You try to catch one of these drifting thoughts, and it slips past your fingertips, not in frustration, but in freedom. You don't need to hold it anymore. Letting go feels almost like a magic trick. You open your hand, and what you thought was important simply turns to air. There's a history to this kind of letting go. Centuries ago, monks in certain quiet monasteries practiced a nightly ritual they called emptying the lantern. They believed the mind was like an oil lamp, burning through the day, gathering soot and smoke. At night, they would sit in silence, imagining themselves pouring out the old oil, wiping away the residue, and leaving the lantern clean for tomorrow. Historians still argue whether this was purely symbolic or whether the monks stumbled onto an early form of mindfulness meditation. You imagine your own lantern now, somewhere inside your ribcage. Its warm light is dimming, not out of neglect, but out of trust. Trust that it can rest without losing its flame. The glass is cooling under your palms, and the handle is easy to release. Somewhere between one breath and the next, a thought crosses your mind. I don't have to think about everything right now. You'd think that's obvious, but during the day, it's so easy to believe the opposite. It's easy to convince yourself you must carry every question, every possibility, all at once. But tonight, you don't have to carry anything except the blanket, the bed, and your own slow heartbeat. A breeze stirs through your imagination, brushing past the lantern, and you realize it's also brushing through you. There's a cooling in the mind, subtle, not cold, like the way a window feels when the night air just begins to lean against it. Your body responds without hesitation. The muscles in your face soften, your forehead smooths. Even the space between your eyebrows lets go of its little furrow. Somewhere deep inside, a tiny switch has flipped from watchful to resting. And here's something delightfully odd. There's an old sailor's superstition that a lantern left burning too brightly on deck would attract spirits. Good ones, bad ones, or just curious ones passing through. So they'd turn the flame down low at night, not to extinguish their guide, but to keep it humble. The sea, after all, has enough mystery without you inviting extra guests. You think about that as your mind continues to quiet, and it makes sense. Sometimes brightness is more exhausting than darkness. Sometimes the soft glow is what truly lets you see. The darkness now is not empty. It's textured, warm, almost alive. If you could touch it, you imagine it would feel like brushed velvet, smooth in one direction, slightly raised in the other. The edges of the day are dissolving into it, and then there's the silence. Oh, the silence. It's not the kind that screams or presses in. This silence is expansive, as if you've stepped into an old library after closing. Everything is still, but the air hums faintly with the presence of stories and lives and moments that happened here long ago. One of those stories drifts up without warning. In the 1600s, in a small Italian village, there was a painter who refused to work under sunlight. He claimed the brightness confused his eye. Instead, he painted only by lamplight, saying the shadows told him more truth than daylight ever could. People still debate whether his work was more beautiful or more haunting because of it, but no one could deny it felt alive. You feel that same kind of quiet aliveness now. The dimness isn't stealing anything from you. It's returning something. It's returning you to yourself without all the glare and chatter. Somewhere off in the distance of your mind, a thought tries to form, but it moves like molasses, slow and harmless. You could follow it if you wanted, but you choose not to. Instead, you simply watch it drift away, like one of those paper lanterns floating into the night sky. Your chest rises, your chest falls. You're aware of it, but barely. It's happening whether you notice or not, like the tides, like the seasons, like the way the moon insists on showing up, even when the clouds try to hide her. And that's when you notice something strange. Your body feels both heavier and lighter at the same time. Heavy enough to feel anchored, light enough to feel as though you could rise through the ceiling if you wanted. You don't want to, of course. You're far too comfortable here. But it's nice to know the option exists in some dream realm physics. As the last flickers of thought dim, you can sense a door inside you slowly swinging shut. Not locked, not barred, just closed enough to keep the night safe around you. Inside that space, the lantern's glow is no longer a beam. It's a soft ember, and that ember will keep glowing all night, not for the world, not for anyone else, but for you. Your body has become a tide pool, still, shallow, and reflecting the moonlight in ways you didn't notice before. Each breath you take feels less like an action and more like something happening to you, the way the ocean sighs against the shore without ever thinking about it. You notice it most in your chest, this steady swell and retreat. Inhale, the water comes in, cool and clean. Exhale, it draws away, carrying with it tiny grains of tension that once clung to your ribs. The rhythm is hypnotic, and soon you start to imagine that your veins are not carrying blood, but currents, gentle saltwater flows, looping through you with the patience of tides that have been doing this for millions of years. They know where to go. They've never once forgotten. It makes you think about how humans have always been fascinated by the ocean, even before we knew much about it. Thousands of years ago, Phoenician sailors learned to navigate by reading the stars over the open sea, letting the swell of the waves guide them when clouds covered the night sky. Historians still argue whether they truly felt their way across the water, or if it was more calculated guesswork, but either way, it worked. Your own inner ocean feels like that now, self-guiding, steady, and trustworthy. Every heartbeat is a wave, every pause between beats, the soft draw of water slipping back into the deep. And just as waves do, the movement spreads through your whole body. Your arms feel it first, a subtle rocking sensation, as though the mattress beneath you has begun to cradle you like the deck of a boat. There's no dizziness, only the reassurance that you're being carried somewhere you don't need to steer toward. Your legs join in, heavier now, as if they've sunk ankle deep into warm tidal sand. You can almost feel the grains shifting gently around them, supporting and holding you in place. The warmth travels upward, settling in your hips, in your stomach, in the spaces between each breath. Even your mind, which earlier in the day might have darted like a school of startled fish, is now gliding in slow, lazy loops. Thoughts rise, shine briefly in the light, and drift back into the calm blue. You remember reading once about the curious sleep habits of dolphins. They sleep with only half their brain at a time, letting the other half stay alert so they can surface for air. And somehow, that's what you feel like now. The smallest, most necessary part of you remains awake, just enough to keep you breathing and safe, while the rest of you is already floating in dream water. The sensation deepens as you imagine your breath not only moving in and out of you, but flowing in and out of the room itself. Each exhale washes outward, softening the air, quieting the walls, making the space bigger and looser. Each inhale draws in more stillness, more night, more of that silver glow you can almost taste. Your ears catch it first, the faintest hum in the quiet, not from anything mechanical, but from the steady pulse of this imagined ocean within you. If you had to describe the sound, it would be somewhere between a sigh and the low note of a cello, warm and resonant. And here's a strange, wonderful fact. Some researchers claim that the human heartbeat and ocean waves share similar patterns of rhythm and amplitude, which might explain why so many people fall asleep faster with the sound of water nearby. Whether that's science or just poetic coincidence, you can't help but smile at the thought, because right now you are both. You are the water, and you are the shore. Your head sinks deeper into the pillow, and you imagine the moon watching you from above, pulling at the tides inside your body the same way it pulls at the real oceans. The moon doesn't rush. She knows exactly how far and how gently to draw you. And in that pull, your breathing slows even more. There's no need to hurry toward sleep. It's already here, waiting toward you in soft ripples. You picture yourself standing in the shallows of some quiet, starlit beach. The water barely reaches your ankles, and yet you feel its pull, gentle and persuasive. Each small wave wraps around you before slipping away, and each time it goes, it takes something you no longer need. A worry, a stray thought, a leftover fragment from the day. Somewhere, a gull calls out once and then decides against it, as if the night itself has convinced it to rest. You chuckle quietly at the idea of a bird getting talked into bedtime, and then realize you're not that different. The ocean in you has been making the same gentle argument for a while now. Stop paddling. Let the current do the work. Your shoulders loosen another fraction. Your spine adjusts into the most comfortable position it's been in all day. Your eyes feel heavier, not in a way that demands you close them, but in a way that promises it will be effortless when you do. You think of all the creatures who trust the ocean without hesitation. Seals sprawled on sun-warmed rocks, turtles drifting on invisible highways beneath the surface, even jellyfish that let themselves be carried for entire lifetimes without ever worrying where they'll end up. And as you lie here, you realize you're doing the same. You don't have to control the tide inside you. You only have to float. The current carries you deeper, not into the sea, but into something stranger and softer. The sand beneath your feet shifts into a stone path, and you notice that the tide has somehow drawn you toward a small, hidden gate. It's not grand, it's not even fully closed. A sliver of space between the wooden planks lets you glimpse what's inside. A garden that seems to glow without any source of light. You can't tell if it's night or some kind of dream time, but everything within the fence looks alive in a way the waking world rarely does. You press the gate open, and it swings with the same slow creak you'd expect from a well-loved door. Inside, the air is warmer, thick with the scent of jasmine, honey, and something like fresh rain that hasn't fallen yet. Each step forward feels like it erases another leftover thought from your mind. You don't even have to try. The garden is doing it for you. Somewhere between the curling vines and the mossy saint ones, the noise in your head has found its match and politely decided to leave. In the distance, there's the faint sound of water, maybe a fountain, maybe a tiny stream, accompanied by the occasional rustle of leaves. Not the kind of rustle that hints at a storm, but the conspiratorial kind, as though the plants are whispering secrets to one another and laughing quietly when they see you pass. It reminds you of something you once read. In the Victorian era, gardens weren't just places for growing food or flowers. They were coded languages. People used specific plants to send hidden messages. A sprig of rosemary meant remembrance. A violet meant modesty. Historians still debate whether lovers genuinely decoded these meanings in everyday life, or whether the idea was more romantic fantasy than functional communication. Here, in this dream garden, the meanings feel real. The flowers seem to lean toward you with their own silent greetings. A cluster of lavender bows gently, and instantly your shoulders drop. Somewhere, mint leaves shiver, and you feel the tiniest spark of alertness, just enough to notice the way the path curves like a question mark ahead of you. You follow it. Every few steps, you notice colors that don't seem to exist anywhere else. Blues so deep they hum, greens so fresh they seem to glow from within, soft oranges that feel warmer than the air itself. You reach out to touch one of the petals, and it feels exactly the way silk looks. A quirky little memory floats into your head, a fact you once stumbled across. Tulips were once so rare and desired in 17th century Holland that they were worth more than gold. People traded entire houses for a single bulb during the tulip mania. The bubble burst, of course, but for a moment in history, a flower could buy you a mansion. It's the kind of odd truth that makes you smile here, wandering in a place where flowers could easily be treasures again. The path curves toward that faint sound of water, and soon you find a small, round pond, perfectly still except for the tiniest ripples where koi fish drift lazily under the surface. Their scales catch the light, though you still can't find any sun or moon overhead, and the sight pulls you into an even quieter state. You kneel beside the water, tracing its cool surface with your fingertips. Somewhere, a wind stirs, carrying a new scent, something like cinnamon and warm earth. It's a smell that makes you feel both safe and curious. You stand again, following it deeper into the garden. The stones under your feet are warm now, as though they've been holding on to heat for years. Ahead, there's a small archway woven entirely from flowering branches. Stepping through it feels like crossing into an even more private part of this dream space. The air changes again, becoming thicker, heavier in a good way, like the hush that falls in a library when someone important enters. And here, you find something extraordinary. A tree with blossoms that glow faintly, each one pulsing like a heartbeat. The branches are low enough for you to reach, and when you touch one, a wave of calm slides through you from fingertip to spine. You don't know what kind of tree it is, and somehow that makes it better. It makes you think of the old Japanese concept of Shinrin-yoku, or forest bathing, the belief that simply being among trees can restore the body and mind. Modern research backs it up now, but for centuries, it was simply trusted as truth. You decide to linger here, letting the soft light of the blossoms soak into your skin. You can almost imagine the tree whispering back some of your own energy, only the calm parts, only the parts you can use in your dreams. And as you stand there, the edges of the garden start to blur, not because it's disappearing, but because you are. Your awareness is loosening again, untethering, ready to drift into whatever comes next. You take one last, slow breath, and the scent of the blossoms follows you inward. You feel the garden fading, not vanishing, but dissolving into the night sky, as if the flowers themselves have turned to light and floated upward. The air shifts again, and you realize that somewhere along the way, you've stepped into a space with no ground beneath your feet. Yet you're not falling. You're suspended in a darkness that isn't empty. Above you, around you, within you, the stars begin to appear. First one, then a scatter, then so many you can't tell where one ends and the next begins. It takes you a moment to realize they're not just above your head, they're inside you. Each star a tiny warmth in your bones, glowing as though your whole body has been turned into a quiet constellation. The sensation is both strange and natural, as if you've been carrying these lights your whole life, but forgot to notice them until now. They pulse gently with your breathing. Inhale, the glow brightens. Exhale, it softens into a silvery calm. You tilt your head, though there's no up here, and catch sight of something far off. A comet trailing a soft white tail, moving not quickly but gracefully, like a dancer who knows the music will never run out. A historical whisper comes to you, how ancient civilizations tracked comets with awe and fear, unsure whether they were omens of change or just celestial wanderers passing through. Historians still argue whether the panic came from superstition or the fact that in those times, anything so rare felt automatically significant. Here, in this infinite space, it doesn't feel like a warning. It feels like a gift, a reminder that beauty doesn't have to be permanent to matter. The stars shift around you, some drawing closer, some fading back. You realize they're responding to your thoughts, or maybe to your lack of them. The quieter your mind becomes, the more the starlight seems to hum in harmony. There's a warmth along your spine now, like a thread of golden light weaving itself into you. It loops through your shoulders, down your arms, settling into your fingertips. It feels like the opposite of gravity, like something meant to help you rise, if you choose. You stretch your hand outward, and a star drifts toward you, resting lightly in your palm. It's not hot, not cold, just alive in a way you can feel. When you close your fingers, it doesn't vanish. It sinks into you, joining the quiet constellation in your bones. And here's a wonderfully odd thought. Did you know that every atom in your body was forged in the core of a star? It's true. You are, quite literally, stardust given shape. Carl Sagan said it in a way that made it sound poetic, but it's as scientific as it is romantic. You breathe in, and the starlight in your ribs swells again. Breathe out, and it folds inward, as though it's tucking you in from the inside. Somewhere in the far distance, or perhaps in the center of yourself, you hear a low, steady sound, like the resonance of the universe's own heartbeat. It's slow, patient, and impossibly reassuring. The sensation spreads into your legs, into your toes, until you feel like every part of you is lit from within, glowing so softly that the night itself leans closer to listen. If you think back to the weighted blanket from earlier, remember how it pressed down with comfort. This is the opposite sensation, yet somehow equally safe. Instead of being held down, you're being held up, as though the stars themselves have agreed to take turns carrying you. And the longer you float here, the less you remember where your body ends and the sky begins. The starlight dims, not because it's leaving, but because it's merging with the dark in the gentlest way. The warmth in your bones lingers, but it's softer now, slower, like the fading notes of a lullaby. You are still here, still safe, yet so far from the sharp edges of the day that it's hard to remember what they even felt like. Your breath is the only movement, steady and effortless, like the slow sway of a boat anchored in a hidden cove. With each exhale, you sink a little deeper into this vast, quiet night, your body fully surrendered to the pull of rest. The stars within you fade to a quiet shimmer, but you know they'll be there when you wake, steady, patient, ancient. They've been with you since before you were born, and they'll remain long after this night. For now, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to think. You don't even have to dream unless you want to. You are exactly where you're meant to be, wrapped in the stillness of space, cradled by the weightless arms of the cosmos. The night holds you, the stars keep watch, and you drift